So I want to talk about one manifestation technique that I have been using unconsciously, like not even knowing, even before when I did not even know about law of assumption and law of attraction, which is going on long walks and having inner conversations with myself. And not just ordinary inner conversation like fighting with somebody or complaining about shit or they don't love me or I am this emo person. you know People tend to get into their fields and feel the max, they victim max it, as the kids these days are calling self maxing and looks maxing and this maxing. So people victim max in their walks and shower talks. What I am talking about is different, and nobody talks about it, which is you go on walks and you hype yourself up and align yourself up with your desired reality. You talk about your life as though you've already, all the goals have been manifested. You say that I love that I have this much money in my bank account, and when I was manifesting my Russian flat and it was so-called not happening and the drama was going on, I went on these walks and I would say I am with my vision and the vision is complete, and I would imagine myself as though I'm already owner of this flat and that it has worked out for me. So the reason why these long walks are so important or essential in my opinion, now it may not work for everybody, so I'm not gonna pretend here that it's everybody's cup of tea, but the reason, the rationale behind it. The thing is, most of you guys are way too much in your head and you're not living in the present moment. And manifestation is all about aligning with your desired reality in the now moment. And so you're applying processes in the same room where you already have all the anxiety attached to everything, right? You live in the same house, you go to the same place. So these same environments where you're cooped up, uh, sometimes even schizophrenic, and basically those environments which you have associated with stress and not being in your desired reality, and then you're way too much in your head, you're talking about, you're repeating the disempowering self-talk, which is which is perpetuating the old reality, while present moment is not anywhere in the consciousness. This is why whenever I come in walks, especially in the cold, somebody said, oh, your dedication is so amazing, like you come in the cold walks to make videos. But I would tweak that thought. Of course it comes from a loving perspective, but I do not come in the cold because I want to make videos. They are a byproduct of my already built habit, because the colder it is, the less people are out and it's dead silent, and I enjoy it because it brings me into the present moment. It clears my mind from all the junk. I am not immune to the junk. When I am in the same cooped up environment, how home, with the stress of the home and all the conditions, that bills and this and that, and when you go to work and all the garbage of the work is attached to you subconsciously, and you don't even notice it, and you're way too much in your head. You're not in the present moment. And so it is very difficult for you to align with your desired reality. This is why Naval Goddard said he was very intelligent with it, because he understood that most people cannot stay aligned in alignment all day, and it's basically impossible due to the modern life. This is why he said that before sleep, get into a sleepy, drowsy state, get into that alpha state and clear your mind. He did not say it exactly, but he said, now let us go into the silence. Every single lecture he ended like that. So silence is the doorway to your desired reality, where you can slip into your chosen reality and talk yourself about it, have inner conversations, or imagine it or affirm it. But if you are way too much in your head and you are nose deep into your existing reality, and uh, your mind is not still, right? So this is a very, very underrated technique, which honestly a lot of people don't even talk about or do, which is to go on long walks in places ideally where places where secluded, where not too many people are there. If you don't have such a place, you could do it early morning. Not a lot of people are outside. The idea is not people. If you can st- stay in the present moment with people, that's perfectly fine. Me personally, I like quiet, secluded, and dead silent places where I am just in my element, just in, I can feel the cold bringing me, grounding me into the now moment. And if it's summer, the beautiful greenery, and I even walk barefoot to ground myself into the present moment. And I'm out of my head immediately, and I'm here in the now moment. And then in that now moment, I start having inner conversations with myself. As Navagata says, don't think of your desire, think from your desire. So I start talking myself from the fulfilled desire that I am so blessed. When I was in Malaysia, there was a park near to my workplace where I would slip in uh, to have a walk when we had lunch breaks. Other people would eat with each other and talk garbage with each other. I would slip into that park and have a walk and talk to myself from the fulfilled desire. And I would imagine walking in snow in Russia like that, like here, like I'm doing right now. And I would imagine that I'm already there, and I would talk to myself that it is so, like, I'm so satisfied and I am so happy that I am now in Russia, and everything that was attached to it, like I have built a life here, I'm married, and all the good stuff. So the rationale behind these walks is not to just get some air. You know how doctors would tell you get some exercise or get something. That's a very pedestrian way of looking at these things. My channel is built upon metaphysical principles, and so I have been doing this thing without even knowing. Prior to knowing the law of assumption, I would just walk. When I was in the hostel in Malaysia, in my university, I was studying there. I would just walk in my apartment and have conversations with myself about my future, what I'm gonna do. But I did not yet understood that I should speak from the fulfilled desire. I was still speaking from like I would do these things, but still it was very empowering because I was planning the future, I was planning my days, I was planning how I was gonna do it, when and what moves to take, and that is like being your own therapist. And realizing that you are your own best friend and you already know exactly the kind of thoughts that build you up and the thoughts that tear you down. But nothing really beats the walks outside in nature, in secluded places, where, because the more in nature you are and the more alone you are, you can hear the silence, right? The more grounded you become. You realize that life is actually all right, everything is actually not that bad. And that moment you get out of your head. You get out of that stale story that you've been telling about yourself and how everything is going to shit. Which is not. In these quiet moments you realize that everything is basically all right. And from there you start to polarize yourself to the other end, the positive end, as it talks about in the book The Kabbalion, the law of polarity. Like everything has two poles, the negative and the positive, and the mental alchemist can polarize themselves via mental alchemy to the positive side of everything. Whatever happens to you, you can always polarize yourself to the positive side. And what is this mental alchemy? This walks, inner conversations, right? Mental alchemy is just you choosing the thoughts of your own choice rather than the program that has been playing and has been manifesting your life silently for decades. So this underrated manifestation tool that I've been using for 6+ years now, even more if you count when I did not know about the law. And I kid you not, because I go on these walks for things that I really, really care about. So all my definite chief aims or the big goals or the big desires, I did these walks for, and all of them came true, all of them. So success rate is astronomical. Astronomical would not be the word, but the success rate is phenomenal, right? And the things I don't really care about, I don't really like, they either come or don't, but the things that the definite aims that uh, Think and Grow Rich Napoleon Hill talks about, which is the things that the goals of your life, right? So all the goals of your life are your definite chief aims, or all of them till a certain point have all come true. Now, of course, I have more of them, and so this practice I absolutely love, so I will keep on doing. So, what I did was I have shared many stories about my success stories in many videos, but the most recent example is buying the flat, and I had all the drama happening, and I came on these walks, and I would say I have already seen in the vision that I am already the owner, and I would talk to myself like that, I'm with my vision and the vision is complete, and that's how it happened. Now, I was not able to align myself while doing my work, while, the daily routine of the house, right? And all my obligations. I was way too much in my head, and I know all of you can relate to it, that it's very difficult. So you need to find a quiet place either to meditate or before bed, before sleep in the bed, or this is the best way. Go on long walks and understand that when you discuss your desired reality from the fulfilled perspective, that it is fulfilled, and you're talking to yourself like that and hyping yourself up, building your mental picture clearer and clearer, this is when the magic happens. And I have great success rate with this technique. By far, all other techniques are great, but this one is, I would say, even my own making, is the best one in my opinion. So try it, and of course it's not for everybody, but I am positive that it's gonna really, if you do it the way I do it, right? Not just go for walks and breathe and just go home, but actually deliberately, intentionally build yourself up and talk to yourself about your desired reality as a fulfilled fact right now. And I believe it's gonna really, really change your life as it has mine. So this is it for this video. Until next time, bye bye.